guess to take it a step further, including water, but just for our entire environment, do you feel that there are some changes that need to be made there as well? And what, I guess, that would also be a regional thing, so maybe it's best to think about it in terms of Texas.
Okay.
But
I think that the Gulf Coast, the management of estuaries and water resources along the Gulf Coast has improved tremendously in the last 20 years, but it needs to improve the quality of the water, and the health of wetlands down on the coast needs to be addressed real soon, real seriously. And I don't think, I've not seen anything that the state elected officials or appointed officials indicating that they intend to do anything seriously to change the way in which we manage our coastal resources any differently than we have in the last 20 years. So that needs to be, quality of coastal waters needs to be addressed almost as soon as the issue of the amount of drinkable, the amount of water we use for industrial, agricultural, and municipal reasons.
in terms of,
You can edit.
I know, definitely. I'm going to be relying on that. As far as entire species are concerned, not just human beings, is there a tremendous impact that we are having on not only the Edwards Aquifer salamander, but other species as well throughout the nation? I think?
Yes. Again, I use the estuaries as the prime example. As water becomes more scarce, as fresh water becomes more scarce, it will become more economically feasible to impound flowing water, slow it down, divert it for other uses. And the impact with the least immediate response would be to the estuaries. For example, I can take water out of the Trinity River or the Brazos River, and I can solve a lot of human problems upstream from there. The estuary problems will be very substantial and very difficult to reverse, but there's going to be a time lag of 10 or 15 years there. The health of the estuaries is critical to a big part of Texas economy. And the fact that there's a delay, a time lag, when we'll start experiencing those significant costs affects how we will manage our water. Because if we don't bear that cost for 15 years, and we will bear a cost in 5 if we don't start impounding water upstream, we'll impound water upstream and defer that 10 years farther away effect until we have to address it, rather than address it on a more global or integral method.
Some ways to maybe solve this problem or to kind of combat it, like are there everyday things that just we can do, that normal people
Individuals?
can do? Yeah. To use water in a more sustainable way.
Sure. But I believe that the contribution or the impact of individuals is very minor compared to the impact of state policy.
Okay.
So there are things you could do. You could use less water. You could have a zero-escape lawn. You could have low-flow toilets. You could create or support an agricultural process that doesn't use as much water. You can divert your money to industrial processes that don't use much water. But that is trivial when it's compared to the impact that state regulation, state oversight has or doesn't have.
So the best thing to do would be to raise our voices and have this be an issue addressed by our politicians.
You're a citizen. That's your water as much as it is the governor's water. You're as important as anybody else. You may not be as rich as some people, and therefore you probably don't have access to political, either Democrat, Republican, I don't care. Since you don't have as much money as some, you will have limited impact but it's your water. I think you could save a lot more water by being politically active and astute compared to taking a shower that's 1 minute shorter than what you had taken before.
What do you think what are some consequences that might befall maybe just Texas if we don't make some kind of a reform in our water policies, if we just keep chugging along on the way that we are right now?
From what I've read, and remember, I'm a forest ecologist, so I'm not an economist, but from what I've read, we'll experience declines in economic output within a decade because of the limit of water that's required, quality that's required to run a lot of industrial processes, a lot of agricultural production facilities. So there'll be reduced economic output because of it.
Do you think that there could be a decline in health in our in our environment as well as on a health level of human beings?
Unquestionably. And again, I keep thinking of the estuaries. It's the downstream communities that will be affected the most. Maybe deferred, maybe later, maybe it happens over a longer period of time. But the health of the estuaries will decline significantly, in my opinion, if we continue with the current management schemes.
Well, thank you very much for talking with us.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations and good luck.
Thanks.